Hello, where are you? Hey, dude, where did my bike go? Where the fuck actually am I? Oh my god, is this racetrack purgatory? Wait, ooh, what is this? Oh, hi guys! Hey YouTube, I didn't know they have YouTube here. I don't know what happened. I was just on a racetrack and I think I crashed. Yeah, that never happened before, you're right. But as we still have YouTube here, let's make a video about it, talk about it. And before we go into any details, I think I need to digest this crash. So before any further ado, let's deal with something like this in the most adult German way I can possibly think about. Phew! Now that's better. So once you got it off your system, let's have a look at the video. Good! Now it's a couple of hours later, and no, for a change, this is actually not a beer. This is just how I drink my tea. To stay hydrated. The crash itself, I think, is pretty easy to explain. However, for this one, I think it's really important to actually think about what led up to this crash. And for that, we have to go back, way back in time. I'm now riding on track for over 6 years, and I have done tons of track days. I think it's like 30, 40 days on the track by now. And up until this very occasion, I've never crashed. I'm planning to make a couple of more videos, so if you have not subscribed to this channel, please like and subscribe below. I will make a couple of videos where I will explain my approach to a track, how I try to play it very safe and not crash. Of course, now in this video I'm talking after crashing, but like I said, it's the first one in 6 years. And I am pushing the bike relatively hard. I'm getting pretty okay lap times. Right at Thunderhill East it is under 2 minutes, but without any crashes this far. Now, this crash is a really dumb one, and we will dissect it in just a second. But after not crashing for such a long time, I had a rhythm down on what to avoid to not do stupid things. And now, here comes the excuses. No, I don't want you to think about all my explanations right now as excuses. I totally own this one. The crash is only my fault, and I simply messed up in one corner, did one wrong decision around the hundreds of laps I've done around Thunderhill, and that costed me dearly, and the bike is still in shambles and needs repairs, which is super annoying. However, how did this happen? First thing is, this was a one-day track day. I don't really like one-day track days because you push so much into one day where you get used to the speed and you want to get a good lap time and you want to have a fun time and you want to hang out with your friends on the track all in one day. That creates a lot of pressure on yourself to actually make the most of it. Also, the transport, getting the gear there, unpacking, setting up camp and tearing it down, not ideal for one day. 2 days, 3 days, always much better. If you can, do it. So this was a wild night. I camped there because it was only one night. Usually I stay in a hotel to get better sleep. And the bad thing was, it was the windiest night and the windiest day, I will come to that in a second, in Thunderhill I've ever seen. I've been often, it gets often windy, but this was something else. My tent almost flew away. And because of this constant wind pushing against the tent walls, I got little to no sleep. So I woke up pretty groggy. I got a shower, things got a little bit better, but still. So when you have a bad night, probably not the best day right after to push very hard because you won't be as sharp and as focused. That was number one, bad night's sleep. Then during the day, the wind didn't let go. From the morning session, it was very, very windy, and the wind gusts were changing all the braking points. Sometimes you could use your normal brake point and you would go through a turn as usual. Sometimes you get so much tailwind that you were getting up to speeds that you had to brake way earlier. Or when you had a headwind, you could brake much later. But with gusts, there was no consistency, and the entire day was very frustrating. What I learned much later from the rider that I was following when I crashed, Jose, he has a lot more experience than I do. And what he did, similar to when I would go snowboarding or do other sports I have more experience with, he said, hey, the conditions today with the wind are not great. Therefore, this is not a day to go sub 2 minutes lap time. And with this approach, he directly set his expectation and executed according to that. I didn't do that because I was dumb, and I did it actually the other way around. So fast forward, the entire day was okay, but not very fast. I was still great to hang out with friends. However, then the last session comes around, the 4 p.m. session, last session of the day for A group, and the wind finally dies down a little bit. It's not gone, but it's more like a normal Thunderhill day where it's windy, but pretty rideable. Temperatures are hot. Tire warmers were on. I just got a new rear tire. The front was getting a little bit old. It was maybe day 5 on a front tire, SC1 Slick from Pirelli. So probably the tire was slowly due for a change. However, that's not the full story. I cannot blame this crash on the tire. There was still life left in it. It was up to temperature. And when the crash happened, I was actually a couple of laps into the session. So temperature of the tire was okay. Track temperature was okay. Just the tire was a little bit old. I might have gotten away with my mistake if it would have been a newer tire. That said, I still made the mistake. So I hope that paints a little bit the situation. Now we're going into the last session. I didn't go fast before, where the wind was frustrating, and now finally the track is more empty. There's less wind. The bike feels good. I'm moving it around, and I'm having finally fun. So I finally want to enjoy this. I want to go fast. And this is where the problem is. There was some traffic. I was following Jose for 2 laps, and I was faster than him. I finally dipped, zapped 2 minutes, and in the corners was catching up. I just couldn't make a clean pass. So I tried a couple of things, and here will be a quick summary of a couple of times where I tried. So I tried here on the outside, I got here close. You see the corner speed is different, but I wasn't able to make overtake stick. So let's have a look at the last lap from now together. So I'm following Jose here. He is on his R1, he is an instructor and very fast rider. You can see in the corners I'm getting super close to him. Here was still super windy, so I was not bold enough to do overtake, or I was not close enough either. Alright, turn 2. Look at how much corner speed I carry into there. But now that I want to take an inside line, he's blocking me and I cannot take my usual line. He's fast around here and I cannot go by. Alright, let's see, I'm getting close. Can I take him on the exit? He's accelerating super hard as well. I let off a little bit, but I didn't want to force it and make a clean overtake. This would have not been a clean one. Okay, here's now a little bit of traffic coming up. I decided to stay behind my friend Brandon here. So we're both going by. I'm behind Jose again. And I'm getting slowly impatient. I'm trying different lines, but I cannot pass Jose, but I notice I am faster. So why can I not go by? That's playing in my head. And I'm trying different things and my lines are getting a little bit silly. Alright, clear traffic. Ooh. Low fuel message, that's a little bit distracting. You need to wait a couple of seconds and click it away. I'm still on his tail. I want to overtake him. But it's the last session of the day. I didn't sleep well, I'm getting tired. And I'm not thinking clear. Now I'm again outside, but cannot make it stick. Clicking the message now away. So I can focus now again on Jose. Now I'm like thinking maybe up the hill. If I give it a little bit more gas, I can squeeze by him. I'm hard on the gas, no way. I'm braking. And the front lets go. And that says it all. Very mad at myself.
I crashed. Fuck.
That says it all. Alright, let's have a look at the last couple of seconds. Alright, this is a exit out of turn 2. Clicked away the message, now I'm focusing. And at this moment I'm thinking, okay, let's try to get close enough so we can do an overtake into the cyclone. I'm very close, but now he actually has 2 or 3 bike lengths. But I'm still executing this plan. I'm staying more towards the left than I usually do. And I'm going harder on the gas than I usually do. Now I see I'm way too far away, so I'm braking. But instead of having my normal speed and line, I'm a little bit off. And I'm also focused on Jose in front of me. So I reviewed this with different laps previously, and I'm just going a tad harder in. If we go forward, I'm braking. You can see the brake indication is picking up. And we're going up a hill here. On GoPro it always looks pretty flat, but this is a very significant hill. And in my video to go fast around Thunder Hill, or go under 2 minutes on Thunder Hill, I say it's a hill, you have a lot of traction, so you can brake hard and late. Now you wonder, but I mean, you just said this, so why did you crash when you're in a hill like that? With a hill like this, there's one big problem. It becomes flat on the top, or actually falls off to the other side on the very top. So if you have still too much force on the front tire, right, you go up a wall and the tire squishes into the wall and has tons of traction. But once it flattens out and you still have the same pressure on the front tire, it can just slide away, right? It doesn't have as much banking to keep you sticking to the road. And that's exactly what I did. I carried a little bit more. You can see right now the lean indicator picks up 16 degrees, 19, 23, and I'm still doing 50 miles an hour. Usually I'm a little bit slower through here, and I'm still on the brakes. Now, Thunder Hill is not the newest track. It's a little bit bumpy, and also the suspension has to deal with a lot, absorbing the braking and the uphill compression. Right? If you go quickly up, like on a snowboard or bicycle, you feel the compression, or if you go with a car, right, you get moved up. So the suspension has a lot to deal with right now, braking forces and the uphill climb. So it gets compressed and bounces around. Often when I go a little bit too hard on the brakes on this hill, didn't give the front the time and I was on an old front tire. Long story short, I asked too much from the front tire, and this tire couldn't deal with that. So what happened next? The bike slides away. This was a very gentle fall, because from knee dragging to just sliding away from the bike, I literally didn't fall. It was like maybe moved 5 inches down. And now if we go a couple of frames just further forward, we can actually see the lean angle once more. You can see right now 65 degree. So from riding the bike at 57, when the bike actually falls to its side and is contacting on the frame sliders, it is only 8 degrees more lean angle than when riding the bike. So it is really gentle. But then we slide into the dirt. So the GoPro camera at this point ripped off and is tossing around. Lands in the dirt and stabilizes itself and films my reaction, where I'm just looking very sad and dejected. Rightfully so, because I did a dumb ass mistake. The bike here, you can see the top is a little bit broken because the bike did what I didn't want it to do. It was sliding on the left side, which was fine. It was on the foot peg and on the frame slider. There was minimal damage to the bike. But then, while sliding through the dirt, eventually some hard part grabbed into the ground and the bike was ejected up. It actually did around its axis a rotation, landed on the right handlebar, being upside down, and then damaged the tank, broke the windshield, and then landed on the left side again. So funnily enough, only damage on the left side and on the top. However, it still left a lot of damage. I will make another video about repairs and so on. And as you can see with me running around, I am totally fine. I will make a video about my leathers. I had them now for 8 years without any crash on them. And I was a little bit worried that with this age, the leathers might maybe get a little bit that the leather might get a little bit brittle and might not be able to fully protect me in an accident. However, I have to say the Dainese suit after 8 years held up perfectly, and I had just very light damage on the suit, and I had no damage on myself. So I had no bruises, no cuts, no rash, no anything. I was totally unscathed. The only thing that was bruised was my ego. It sucks. It sucks so much to throw away your perfectly fine bike for something like this. In summary, I went too hot into the corner, didn't leave time for a suspension to get into its happy place, dragged a little bit too much lean angle and brakes into the corner, was on an old tire, and I probably got myself all in the situation because I was not well rested enough. So, I hope this helps you. It's a very straightforward crash, but I hope this video helps you to avoid a crash like that. I will make some videos as a follow-up to hopefully show you how to avoid other crashes. There's certain things I always look after so I can get a little bit safer every time and have a plan for different things about different tracks. It all sounds now very vague, but subscribe. There will be a video for that, or two actually, just about crashing or how to not crash. And I hope this will be really helpful because it's such a wonderful sport, but it really, really blows when you're crashing. It's really costly. And as this is already an expensive sport, nobody needs repair bills and broken bikes. Also, once your bike is damaged, it will be never quite the same. So you might be chasing other problems. There might be some hidden damage that you don't directly see. Crashing just sucks. So don't crash. I hope you learned something from that. Leave a comment in the description below and see you in the next one. Bye for now.